Hi guys, this is Andrew with rockclass101.com, and in this week's ukulele lesson, we're going to be learning Fingerpicking Etude number 17. So this tune is all about dynamics, and it really could be titled Subtlety in Dynamics. So here's what I mean by that. You know that old adage, less is more? Well, that rings true with using dynamics. When you listen to your favorite players, a lot of times the littlest, tiniest thing that they put into their playing makes the biggest difference. So think of dynamics as how you can help tell a story with more emotion. Or here's a good analogy. When you're having a conversation with somebody, do you ever just have a conversation that literally sounds like Ben Stein, where it's just completely level and everything you say is, hello, how are you great? Or do you have a conversation where sometimes things get really exciting and you want to talk with more emphasis? So that's the same kind of point that we want to pull here, but we want to do it in a natural sounding way. And that's what this lesson is going to be about. So as you heard in the performance, the song has a bit of repetition, but as we go back and we repeat parts as the song develops, we're going to be throwing in some little subtleties and how we play sections to help the song flow, to help the song develop and build. So some of the things we'll be looking at is using raschiato, which is a 4-finger strum roll, where each finger goes in rapid succession. And another thing we'll be looking at is kind of like what I highlighted with my voice. Some sections are just going to build. And then kind of go back down to a bit of subtlety. So we're going to learn how to do that where it sounds natural. So before we jump into learning this tune, let's talk a little bit about this lesson. This lesson is going to be part 1, and in part 1 we're going to be learning the first half of this song. So if you guys want to learn the second half, we're going to be covering that in the part 2 lesson at rockclass101.com. So you can click this link right here, or you can go to the site and do a search for Fingerpicking Etude number 17. Now on that page you'll also be able to get the tabs that you can print off and follow along with as a PDF format, as well as access the on-screen tab viewer. Now this is a really cool feature where you can hit play, you can watch the tab scroll across in real time, you can highlight bars to loop sections, slow it down to any speed you wish. Just a really great asset in learning this song that much easier. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump into this tune. First thing I want to talk about is we are in 6/8, so that means that we have a count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, next measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, next measure, and so forth. Now, anytime we're reading 6/8, we want to double the rhythm. So take a look at this first bar. I'll put it up right there. It sounds like this. Okay, so you see 6 hits, they're all eighth notes, but we want to double the rhythm as we count it. So we don't want to count it as eighth notes, we want to count it as if it was twice the value. So what is twice the value of an eighth note? A quarter note. So you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's going to be the way that we're going to be counting, and that applies for any rhythm you see. If you see a 16th note, you're going to double that rhythm and count it as if it was an eighth note. Next thing I want to mention is our right hand picking approach. So pretty much for the majority of this tune, we're going to use a 4-finger approach for finger picking. So that means that the thumb would get string 4, index would get string 3, middle gets string 2, and ring gets string 1. So if you're new to using a 4-finger picking approach, or a 3-finger, or just 1 finger, then check out our course on finger picking concepts. It's really just an introduction to all 3 styles, or all 3 finger picking approaches. And last but not least, we will be counting out rhythms as we learn this tune, so if you need to brush up on understanding rhythmic notation, check out this lesson. And I'll put all those links in the description box below as well, so if you want to reference them at some later point in the lesson. Now, big thing too, this is for low G, and I would not recommend playing this on a high G ukulele. It's just going to sound really off. We really need that bass note, that low G, to make this song sound proper and make it sound right. All right, so let's kick into it. So we're starting with theme 1, which is 8 bars in length, and I'm going to play the first 2 bars, and it sounds like this. Okay, so you can hear the first 2 bars are identical. So again, keeping with that way that we're going to count it, we want to count it as if it was quarter notes. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so for this one, we're just going to make a D chord. It looks like that staircase, that stock E minor chord, but moved it up a step and a half and move it directly up 1 string. So we're going to be on the 7th fret of string 4, 6th fret of string 3, 5th fret of string 2, and we have an open A. So for this one, we're just going to pick down and then coming back up. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I call out strings, we have 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we're going to run that 2 times in a row. It gives us the first couple bars. So let's give it a shot. 4, 5, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Awesome. So now for our 3rd and 4th bar, all we have to do is lift up our ring finger, and it introduces a open G. So our chord here is a D with a G in the bass, so we call that a slash chord. So I'm going to play 3 and 4. You'll notice that 3 is identical. It's the same rhythm, same picking pattern, and then 4 has a little change at the end of it. So take a listen to 3 and 4, and then we'll break it down and learn it. Okay, so the end of 4 has this cool little walk up. Let me play bar 4, end of 5. So you hear ba-da-dum, ba-da-da. You hear that cool little walk up at the end of it. So let's go ahead and break down number 3. Again, it's very easy. It's the same as the D chord, but remember we lift the ring up, so we have an open G, and we're just going to go 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. So let's give that a shot. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice. Now for the 4th bar, basically doing the same thing for 3/4 of the bar. You have 4, 3, 2, 1, 2. And then at the end we have a quick hit where it's a little walk up. So it's open G to the 2nd fret. Okay, so check out that rhythm. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, end. So we have an 8th note run at the end. Okay, so let's give that 4th bar a shot. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, end. Awesome. And let's try bars 3 and 4, and then 1 through 4. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, end. Nice. And we backtrack 1 through 4. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, end. Awesome. So from here, left off with your middle finger, you're going to go ahead and put the ring finger down on the 3rd fret of the 4th string. Middle finger drops down to the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and the 2 strings underneath are going to be open. So in essence, we have a D sus2 with a B flat in the bass. So 3, 2, open, open. So for this next couple bars, we're back to the basic pattern where it's just 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then again 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. So quarter note rhythm, same simple basic picking pattern. So let's try those 2 bars together. Here we go. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I think the thing that you want to practice is going from bar 4 to bar 5, because it has that cool little walk up. So you probably just want to loop 4 to 5. Let's give it a shot. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so you just want to practice that transition. That's probably the only part that's a little bit tricky right here. Now for bar 7, you're back to... Okay, so you're straight back to playing out of D, same thing. 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Then for bar 8, we're going to hit the 4th string. We're going to hold it for 3/4 of that bar. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have a little walk up at the end. Okay? So let me play the 7th and 8th bar. I'll count it out and you can get a feel of the context. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so again for that 8th bar, you're just hitting the 4th string, 7th fret, holding it for 1, 2, 3, 4. On beat 5, you play the open A, and beat 6, you play the 2nd fret of the A string. Okay, so let's try the 7th to the 8th bar together. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, da da. Kind of missed that note. Hopefully you didn't miss that note though. All right, so let's backtrack. Let's try 5, 6, 7, and 8. So this starts from the sus2. Here we go. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Awesome. And now 1 through 8. 4, 5, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sweet. So that's everything for theme number 1. So now we're going to jump into theme number 2, which I believe is 10 bars. Yes, it is 10 bars in length. So let me play the first couple bars and then we'll break it down. But the basic gist of what's happening is we're really just bouncing between 2 chords. We're bouncing between C to D. So that C is going to be our basic C chord, stock C shape. And then the D chord is going to be made a little tricky, a little different. Now, you don't have to make it the way that I do it, but let me show you how I do it. I take the middle, put it on the 2nd fret of string 3, rings underneath it, so 2nd on string 2, open A, and I reach around or reach over with my thumb to play the 2nd fret of string 4. So you can see I'm hugging the neck to do that. So I'm completely hugging the neck back there, so I can't have any kind of gap like that. Now you don't have to do this reach around with the thumb to make this D. You could use the index finger if that's more comfortable. You could even use these fingers, 2, 3, 4. I'm just showing you the way that I like to play it and it makes it easier for me. You could also use thumb, index, and middle. So up to you. And just play around with the song a little bit once we get through this next section and figure out which one feels most comfortable for you. But let me play the first couple bars, and it's going to kick off with playing out of the stock C. Okay, so for this first section, we're going to start off with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's going to be the first bar. So we're going to kick off with a strum, just a basic strum. I like to use the nail of my index to strum down. Then I'm going to come up and I'm going to play 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. So I can still stay with that 4-finger approach, strum 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Or if you want, you can jump into a 3-finger picking approach. So that would be thumb getting 4 and 3, index gets 2, middle gets 1. So up to you how you want to pick it. But again, very simple bars. We have strum, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's give it a shot. 4, 5, go. Strum, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now our second bar is going to be 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. So that first half has an eighth in the middle. So you have 1, 2, and 3, followed by quarters, 4, 5, 6. So together you have 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. So for that, we're just going to strum again, basic C, then play 3, 2, 4. So with the rhythm we have 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so strum, 3, 2, 4. Then the second half we have strum, 3, and then get rid of the ring finger, put the middle on the second fret of string 1. You're going to play that note. So we have strum, 3, 2, 4, strum, 3, second fret of string 1. Okay, so let's give that one a shot slowly. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. Awesome. So before we move on and learn bars 3 and 4, let's hit pause and talk about dynamics, because that was the big takeaway with this lesson. So far, everything's been pretty subtle with how we've been playing it and how we've been learning it. Just very soft. So that's the overall theme of this music so far. But that doesn't mean that we can't put some dynamic into some of the sections that we've been through. So one thing you hear when I'm playing through that is with this 6/8, I can accent 1 and 4. So I can hit 1 and 4 a little bit. Louder. So you can hear da 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 ba 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 da 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 ba ba ba. So right there, just doing that simple thing makes it stand out and make it more interesting. Now at the end of this section right here, from the 8th bar going into the 1st bar of theme 2, I can attack theme 2, that first hit of the C that we just learned. I can attack that with a bigger hit too. So I can really accent to kind of symbolize that, hey, we're into a new section for the tune. And I could even take it further and I could play those first couple bars with more attack and more emphasis throughout. So if I play 7 and 8 of the theme 1 going into theme 2, notice how 7 and 8 are softer. And the first couple bars that we just learned for theme 2, I can play with more oomph. So check it out. Okay, and one really cool idea I think is to kind of die down a little bit right here. As we go into bars 3 and 4, I can start to play softer, and then back to C I can play louder. So that's one cool approach. So if I play theme 2, first couple bars be louder, more oomph. Softer. Louder. Softer. Soft. So take that as like a suggestion, because the thing with music is that it's always up to you, the performer, on how you want to interpret it. So to recap, the first couple bars that we learned, I'm playing a little bit more oomph. These next two bars that we can learn, I can play a little bit softer. And then when we go back to C and this walk down that comes, it's really cool. And that can be loud as well, and then soft, and then nice soft for the resolution section. So we'll recap all that when we get there, but let's go ahead and look at 3 and 4. So now we're to D, and it's basically going to be the same rhythm as bar 2. So you have 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the fourth bar, again, you have 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's the cool thing, bar 3 and 4 are identical, but we can play it different with dynamics. So we'll talk about how in a sec. So for 3, we're going to go ahead and make the D, and for the first hit, we can just have these two fingers down, ignoring string 4. So we're going to go strum, 3, 2, and then I reach around at this point in time and grab that 4th string. So I have strum, 3, 2, 4, and then I'm going to do another strum, 3rd string down, play string 3, and then open A. So together I have 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. So again I have strum, 3, 2, 4, strum, 3, 0. Okay, so let's give that one a shot. 4, 5, soft. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. Now the 4th bar is identical, but we can accent that first hit. Maybe we can input that rasgueado strum, that 4-finger strum roll. If you're new to that technique, then check out this lesson on La Gitanita, which is spelled Gitanita. I also put a link towards for that lesson in the description box below if you want to reference it at a later point in time, but it's going to teach the mechanics behind the 4-finger strum roll. So to make it dynamically different, we can accent that first hit. Okay? And actually I lied, because there is one note that's different. The very last note of the 4th bar is different. So let's take a look at what's happening. So the first half, we can put that little rasgueado, we can hit it harder. 1, 2, and 3. So all that's the same. So we have rasgueado, 3, 2, 4, and then a regular strum, and then string 3. And then with this finger, the ring finger, drop it down to the 2nd fret of string 1 and play that note. So that's the only one note that's different. So again, that bar is 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so let's give that bar a shot. 4, 5, go. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. Awesome. And if any of this is going too fast for you, here are the directions to slow it down with the YouTube player. So let's backtrack. Let's try 3 and 4. So 3 soft, 4 we can accent that first hit, and that'll give us a nice little dynamic change. So here we go, 3 and 4 together. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice. So now let's try 1 through 4 together. Here we go. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. Sweet. Awesome. So that gives us the first 4 bars for theme 2. So our 5th bar, we're going back into C. So in this 5th bar, we can build it up a little bit. So the end of D, we're still soft, so we can start to build this one up. I would say medium intensity, and then when we get to the 6th bar, which starts our little walk down, we can play that with a higher intensity, so more oomph. So it gives us a cool little building. So we've been kind of like cascading up and down. It's like a roller coaster of soft and more pronounced, soft, more pronounced. Makes it really more interesting. So let's look at 5, and then we'll talk about 6. So 5, we're back to C. We've got strum, 3, 2, 4, strum, 3, and then 5th fret of string 1. So the first half we have 1, 2, and 3. Second half, 4, 5, 6. So make the basic C. We're going to go strum, 3, 2, 4. Then the second half we go strum, string 3, and then the 5th fret of string 1. Okay, let's give that a shot together. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3. 4, 5, 6. Awesome. Now from here, we're into this cool little walk down. So first thing that you probably want to do is just to get the movement down, get the muscle memory of the changes down. So it's going to start with a higher voicing of C. It's basically a G chord moved up the neck until it becomes a C. So if that blows your mind how that works, I'll put a lesson below that is on the caged method. It's all about moving chords up the neck so that you can play higher voicings and you can break away from the beginning of the neck. So only playing here. So take the ring, put it on 8 on string 2, middle finger is 7 on string 1, the 2 strings above are open. There's your first hit. Your next hit is going to be lifting the middle finger up. We don't need it. We're going to take the ring, drop it down to the 7th fret of string 2, so down a half step, and put the index down on 5. You're going to pluck this. Okay, so you have, and we're just talking about movements. We're not actually playing the bar yet. After this, we're going down a whole step. So from 7-5, we're going to 5-3. Again, we can strum this with the 2 strings above open, and then the final hit is going to be lifting the ring up. We don't need it. We're going to drop the index finger down a half step to the 2nd fret, and the middle finger goes down on 3 on string 2. So you can see it's out of a G, right? Okay, so that movement you had 8-7 with the opens above, so strum, then 7-5, down a whole step, 5-3 with the opens above, and then 3-2. So just hit pause for a sec, you can practice that. You can see I'm plucking 2nd and 4th hit. Strum, pluck, pluck. So if we put this into, we put the movement into the context of the bar, it sounds like this. So we're just adding a little open C in between. So it's going to start with this higher voice of C. We're going to strum that, then play the 3rd string open, then go to our 2nd hit, which was 7-5. Okay, where we pluck that. So we have strum, 3, pluck. Okay, down a whole step, strum, 3, pluck. So all quarter note hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's give that bar a shot. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Awesome. Now let's backtrack. Let's try bar 5 to 6 together. Here we go. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so remember for our dynamics though, we want to start with the 5th bar playing a little bit louder, so kind of like a mild intensity, and then 6th bar we want to have more intense. So if I demo from the last of D, that was a bit more subtle, we have okay, so that gives us a little bit more movement. So again, these are my suggestions, and you can feel free to play it to taste. So put your own spin on it too. And there's no right or wrong. So after this, we're back into D, and this will be very similar. I think it's actually the same. Yeah, it's the same bar as we played for the 3rd bar. So we're going back to strum, 3, 2, 4, strum, 3, 1. Okay, so that same bar. So strum, 3, 2, 4, strum, 3, 1. Okay, so after that, we're into our last new chord. It's a really sweet sounding chord. It's a C sus2 with a dominance. So it's a dominant 7 with a sus2 in it. Really interesting. Listen how airy it sounds. Very cool. So to form this chord, we're going to use the middle finger on the 3rd fret of string 4. Index is on the 2nd fret of string 3. Ring is the 3rd fret of string 2. Pinky is the 3rd fret of string 1. So we have 3, 2, 3, 3. So let me play this bar, and it sounds like we have all quarters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So a bit of a finger frenzy. We've got picking out of this, but we got lifting up at the same time. So go ahead and make the chord. We're going to strum it. From here, we're going to play string 3, and then I want you to lift the index up, lift the pinky up, drop the index to the first fret, string 1. You're going to play that note. So that's the first half. We have strum 3, lift up, first fret, string 1. Sounds like this. Strum 3, 1. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3. After that, you're going to lift that index up again, play the open A, then play the third string, open, and then the second string, third fret. So we don't lift anything up. So again, we have strum 3, 1, 0, 0, 3. So if I call out strings, I have strum 3, 1, 1, 3, 2. Okay, so let's give that bar a shot. 4, 5, 6. Strum 3, 1, 0, 0, 3. Now this section I would play really subtle, so we kind of want to be subtle in our playing. So if we think about where we're at in the tune, we had just finished up so we had just come from that walk down of the C's into the D, which was the same bar as the third bar. And that D, we're kind of bringing it down, and we're really bringing it down again for C sus. So we want a real subtle and soft vibe for this. Now after you play that bar, you're back into D. Same exact bar as that third bar and the one right before C7 sus 2. So again, it's just strum 3, 2, 4, strum 3, 1, and then again you're back into the exact same picking, same hits. So let's try this. Let's try that switching between D to C7 sus 2. So we have D, C7, D, C7. So 4 bars. Here we go. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Awesome. So let's see if we can backtrack. Let's try the second half of this tune. So we're just going to try from bar 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 5 through 10. So we're going to start on C. We have that little walk up to the walk down. So that's where we're kicking off. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice. Now let's try everything. So bars 1 through 10. Here we go. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 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 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 3, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice. So quite a lot going on, especially as we think about how we're playing it, so how the dynamics play a role. But that gives us everything for theme 1 and theme 2. So here's the good news, is that you now have learned the bulk of the tune. So as we move into theme 3, it's basically adding more dynamic subtleties to the mix. So we're playing the same thing as theme 1, but we're just going to incorporate a Raschiato strum in the middle. So let me show you what that sounds like. variation on the 8th bar, but you can hear everything throughout is identical, except for the 4th hit, we're just going to add a raschiato strum. So every time that you're playing through that intro, so make the bass, or the first D shape, we have 1, 2, 3, raschiato strum, and then come back up, 5, 6. So again, we have 4, 3, 2, raschiato, 2, 3. That carries through for the majority of this this theme. So we have 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, boom, da, da, 1, 2, 3, strum, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, strum, ba, da, 1, 2, 3, strum, ba, da, da, dum. Now when you get to that 8th bar, the only difference here is we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we're going to build up that last section because we want to hit into theme 4, which is a variation on theme 2, with more oomph. We want this song to really build as we continue. So you can tell already that theme 1 and 2 had a softer feel overall, even though we did have some dynamic increases here and there. But theme 3 and 4, we're having more accents, much more oomph throughout these two themes. So that's kind of the big takeaway of these two sections. So let's take a look at this 8th bar. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 hits on the 7th fret for the D chord, and that's the 4th string. And then after that we have raschiato coming up, hitting string 1 with the nail of the thumb, and then coming down with a basic strum. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay? So you can do for that strum up, where I'm just hitting string 1, you can do all 4 strings if you want. It doesn't really matter. Just my playing style, I usually like to come up with and hit 1 string. So again, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so raschiato, up, down strum. Let's give that bar a shot. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. In that section, we really want to build up, so we want to play that louder and kick into theme 4 with more oomph. So let's see if we can go through all of theme 3. Here we go. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay? But if we look at the last 2 bars, this is going to be the big takeaways. We just want to build it up. So if I was playing it towards the performance feel, I would want to be so you can hear how I went into that C chord with more because I want. So I just want this section to build up. That's what I heard when I was writing it. So let's take a look at theme number 4. And again, it's the same as the second theme. There's just variations thrown in here and there. For example, the first couple bars is literally just vamping on the raschiato strum, and then literally going strum 2 and 3, strum 5 and 6. So we have that repetitive pattern over and over again. So raschiato strum 3, 2, 4, and then again the same thing. Raschiato strum 3, 2, 4. So we have 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then for the next bar, same thing. 1, 2, and 3, and then finally 4, 5, 6. So we have raschiato strum, then string 3, and then to the 2nd fret of string 1. So that little walk down, same stuff we saw in theme 2. So you see just a little bit of variation, and all these strum hits, I'm pretty much going to do the raschiato strum on, so that falls onto beat 1 and 4. You don't have to do it as much as me, and you can do a regular strum. You can play it as however you like, but the main overall feel of theme 4 is the louder, more emphasis. So let's try those two bars together. Here we go. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. So after that, we're into D. Again, we have some variation, but the same theme where you're doing the raschiato on 1 and 4 carries on. So here's that first bar. So you can hear that we're putting a little strum pattern for the last hit. So the first hit starts with raschiato. We have 1, 2, and 3. So again, raschiato, 3, 2, 4. After that, we're going to go down, down, up, down. So again, the same rhythm, 4, 5, and 6, but we're going to be strumming it. So beat 4 is the raschiato, then we're going to do a regular strum down. Again, I like to come up and hit just the first string with the nail of my thumb, and then come down with the strum again. So I have 4, 5, and 6. So raschiato, down, up, down. And it's fine if your up strum hits more strings. So let's see if we can try the second half together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, in that entire bar, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. So let's take a look at the next one for D, and it's basically very similar. The first half starts the same. We have 1, 2, and 3, and then for the second half we have 4, 5, 6. So that same little movement where we drop the ring down for that second fret. So raschiato, 3, first string, second fret. So that bar is 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's try that bar together. 4, 5, go. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so let's recap real quick. So far we're 4 bars into it. In essence, what we have is building up the dynamic in this section. So you can hear that nothing dies down. Remember how in the second theme we talked about bars 1 and 2 were louder, then when we went to D we got softer. None of that stuff happens in theme 4. It pretty much sustains the bigger, more emphasis throughout all of it. So to accent that, that's why we're doing the raschiato strums. So we're keeping the intensity up for this theme. But let's backtrack. Let's try 3 and 4 and then 1 through 4 together. So 3 and 4, we have 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. And then 1 through 4. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. And if there's some sections of the bars that you want to intensify, kind of like that, when we went to the D for the third bar, the second half, you can accent those strum hits even louder. So you could do something like that if you want to have some variation. But I would keep the intensity up throughout this section. I think that's really how it's starting to feel and how it's starting to build. So let's look at the 5th and the 6th. Again, we have that little walk down. So we have the going up from C. That is identical to what we did before. So we had, the only difference here is the raschiato hits 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the walk down, again the same thing, just adding the raschiato. Okay, so let's try those 2 bars together. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, then after here we're back to D and to the C sus. So this first bar of D would probably be the last bar that I put the raschiato strum emphasis on. Okay, and that's probably the bar that maybe you want to dial it down just a little bit, because that C7 sus2 section really has an overall subtle feel. And that would bring us back down because the next section would take us to the breakdown. Into that cool little variation. It's kind of like the reprise of the song. So this is the 7th bar, the first one of the D. We want to start to bring it down a bit and get more subtle for C7, continue dying it down a little bit, D, then C7, and then it kicks into the breakdown. And the breakdown's where we'll start part 2 lesson. So the only difference here for these last 4 bars, guys, is that we have raw scale strum, but we start to die it down a little bit. C7, same hits, D, C7, and then that takes us to our breakdown. So let's try those last 4 bars. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and let's see if we can backtrack. Let's see if we can tackle all of theme 4. So here we go. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, die down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Awesome. And that kicks us into our breakdown and then going into the next theme, which is a bit of a reprise, and you heard that cool little pull-off walking licks. It's out of a D7 scale, so D Mixolydian. Really neat stuff coming up, and that's where we're going to kick off with the part 2 lesson. So guys, if you want to learn the last half of this tune, we're going to be covering it in this lesson, or you can, again, go to the site, rockclass101.com, do a search for Fingerpicking Etude number 17, and don't forget, you can get the tabs to print off and follow along with and access that on-screen tab viewer. So that is the interactive tab player where you can watch the tab scroll across in real time, highlight bars, loop sections, super duper awesome, very useful, makes learning much easier. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Remember, the big takeaway is putting dynamics, but subtle dynamics. How we play the music makes a big difference in how it's perceived. So the emotions that we want to get across, that's the role of dynamics. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I will see you in part 2. Thanks.